Okay, this is my interview with Miss Gaspar, Michelle Gaspar. She teaches third grade at Audelia Creek. She has a wonderful class. I've observed a few times and how she does procedures, etc. She was nominated by the staff and the principal to be the teacher of the year for Audelia Creek this year. Miss Gaspar, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Had a great day today.
I
I
did too.
watched quite a few classes. I came into your class and watched your class just for a few minutes, and every kid was on task doing what they were doing. Talk to me a little bit about how you got that started, how the beginning of the year started, etc.
So the beginning of the year for us, that's where it all begins. So whenever we start that first week, initially we focus on creating a social contract and we create it together. So I have 4 questions that I begin with. How do you want me to treat you? How do you think I want to be treated? How are we going to treat each other? And then how are we going to resolve conflict? So I'll ask those 4 questions. We'll go through each one at a time. And then I'll have just the students kind of pop out different answers. And whatever they say, even if they repeat the word, I'll add it on there because I want them to see that we're making this social contract together. It's not rules that I have made up that I've pre-done. It's something that is alive in the moment and that we create and sign together. After we create that, we kind of roll out some scenarios. We'll do team building activities. We'll play games. We'll really get to know each other. Just make it fun, and at the same time, always referring to the social contract. If there is a conflict, and I purposely play games because I know that there is going to be a conflict during a game. And so during that time, we stop, we talk about it, keeping it very real, raw, putting emotions out there. And then we talk about how can we resolve this? Is this a little problem, a big problem? And we talk about it. And then routines and procedures. From the beginning, I model how you come in, how we sit down, how we grab a pencil, how we put away a pencil, the littlest things, and we do it and redo it over and over. Practice makes better. We also talk about the why behind it. I don't want to ever just put a rule in place. I want to explain why. It's not don't run, it's hey, we don't run so that we don't fall. And I think that's very important. We need to know the why behind things. And then, I don't know, just like I said, modeling, that's very important, and positive reinforcement. So I like to make everything a competition or make it a game. I do teacher versus you, I'll do class dojo, I'll do table points. So just making it fun, okay, this table can come in the quietest and do everything, and I, put up your backpack first, check in, do this, do that first, you will get a table point. Quick and quiet gets you 2. If you do it quickly, you get 1 point. If you do it quietly, you get 2 points. And it motivates the class. It's fun. They actually come in and they're always on task because of that.
So in your lesson, do you time your lessons or do you just go by the seat of your pants? How does that work?
At the beginning, I would say when I first started, the hardest thing was classroom management and time. So at the very beginning, yes, I had a timer with me. I didn't want to over talk. I didn't want a mini lesson to turn into a 45-minute lesson. So yes, now that I've kind of gotten the hang, I've been doing this for a while. I also monitor and adjust, and I look at my students. If I see my students have been on the carpet too long, okay, we need to get up, do something, switch it out, desk to carpet, carpet to desk, desk to carpet, just to keep it lively in the room. But everything has its time. Fluency, 3 minutes. Application problem, 5 minutes. My mini lesson or my concept development, no longer than 20 minutes because a child cannot sit on the carpet for more than 15 minutes at a time. And if it does require us to be longer than 15 minutes, let's play a Miss Gaspar says, touch your head, Miss Gaspar says, green light, red light, yellow light. Because even me, I can't sit here longer than 15 minutes at a time without moving. So yes, definitely timing ourselves is very important. At the beginning, timers are helpful. Eventually, you'll kind of get the hang of it. You'll monitor and adjust, and you'll kind of have a mental timer in your head.
Okay. What is your expectation as far as students participating in the academics of your class?
I have very high expectations for everybody. I don't lower my expectations for anyone. Everyone needs to be participating, and scaffolding is really important. If I do have a language learner in the classroom, providing saying it in English and maybe saying it in Spanish for them, because I do have a bilingual classroom. If I have a student who is shy, allowing them the opportunity to do a turn and talk with a partner first before I have them, raise their hand and share out. Doing cold calls. I don't always call on the same kids. Sometimes you need to call on your quiet kid to let them know, like, hey, I have the expectation that you're listening and that you're accountable for your own learning. So group work, turn and talks, participation is key. And my kids, I'll say it, what do I love? Organization and participation, and they'll repeat it, so they know.
So talk to me a little bit about your sayings and your signals, because that seems to work really well in your classroom.
I've always said this, it's very important to know where you're teaching. Like I said, I have my bilingual classroom, and I'm Hispanic, and in my household, we grew up listening to music where, our culture is very big, it's beautiful. We love music, we love gathering around food, and when I see my kids, I'm like, I know my kids love that too. Our demographics, I know my kids, and I know they love chants, I know that they like rhymes, and so I make things catchy, things that stick. The generation today, the music that our kids listen to, trying to incorporate that in an appropriate way, and it sticks. So anything catchy that sometimes I'll just come up with things on the fly, and it sticks. So like, for example, whenever I write a sentence, and it's a sentence stem, if it says, I like to, and there's a line, I'll say it, I don't write that line, and the kids will go, I don't write that line, I put my own words there. And then the kids will go, I put my own words there. And they know, okay, Miss Gaspar wrote a line, because I have to fill it in, but I'm not gonna write the line, I'm gonna put my own words there. And so as they're writing, I hear them, I don't write that line, I put my own words there. And it's just, I don't know, just always keeping that in mind. You have to know who you're with, who your family is, and bringing all that into play.
Okay. Ms. Gaspar, this is for teachers who are just beginning to teach. Is there anything else you would like to tell them to help them begin their teaching career and start their vocation?
I think a mistake I made my first year was thinking that I could handle everything or take on everything on my own, and being afraid to reach out. If you need support, if you have questions, if you want to go observe, if you want something modeled, say that. Because at the end of the day, we're lifelong learners, and we're learning all the time, and that's something I wish I would have asked my first year, because it wasn't until my second year that I started doing that. So ask questions, and questions will be answered with answers or suggestions or advice. Get to know your students, build personal relationships. I know we love our sacred 30 minutes of lunch, which is really 15 minutes, but have a lunch bunch with your kiddos with behaviors. Get to know them, build that relationship, and kids don't learn from people that they don't like. So be approachable, be likable to your kids, and just get to know them.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Gaspar. I really appreciate you participating in this interview. Hopefully this will help a lot of brand new teachers.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.